What's up, guys, and welcome to a car that I've reviewed once before, but to be totally honest, I did not drive it properly the first time. This is Erik, the owner, and this is his 1990 Mazda FC RX-7. Tell me what you've done to this car.
So I focus a lot on weight savings. So I took out maybe almost 200 pounds since when I got it.
And stock weight was what, 2,800?
So when I weighed it, because I have scales, it's at 2834. Okay. Now it's at like 2649.
That's probably
with a little bit less than half a tank.
Okay.
So it's always been a little bit less than half a tank. So try to keep it as accurate as possible.
Cool.
Titanium exhaust, aluminum hood.
You said the exhaust was 8 pounds, right?
8 pounds. I did a custom exhaust because they have a lot of 3-inch exhausts that are out there for the turbo version, but there's no support for like the NA version. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make it my own. That's 2.5, so I don't lose too much down low.
And you said you had short gearing on this as well?
Yeah, so it comes with the 4.1, so I found a 4.88. So that really changes the whole way the car feels. And then I did a manual steering rack that came off of 86 to 87, certain versions of that FC.
Very cool.
And then I put LSD because I didn't have one before. It's got a Cusco 1.5 LSD, spoon rigid collars, and I feel like it made the suspension feel a little bit better. Okay. Could be in my head. Maybe I'm just justifying it.
What do you have for coilovers?
Feel 441.
Feel 441.
Yeah, I paid $1,300 for them. So that's my next thing. Is, I'd like to get some Aragostas, and Saki Bomb is considering making Olins for this car.
I'll bug Heath for you.
Yeah,
I know that guy very well.
Definitely, definitely.
All right, let's see how this thing drives.
A stock NA motor, no power mods other than the exhaust.
Gotcha. Wow, this steering ratio is slow. Yeah. Look at that.
It's 20 to 1.
20 to 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right away, this is way better than the first time I drove it. Oh, the steering is so talkative.
Yeah, I was telling the Topher that I'm definitely slower now, but it feels so much better.
Yeah. I mean, this is all about the feel. It's not a fast car. So.
Exactly.
Got to do some hand shuffling on the steering wheel in these corners.
Yeah. And I also put endless MX72 pads and RT660s.
Okay, yeah, the brakes feel good.
Yeah, good and a lot less dust.
Okay. The shifter's a little, it takes a little getting used to.
Yeah, I still have the stock flywheel. So you kind of have to give it a good dump of the throttle when you blip.
It seems like it. I'm under blipping a little bit.
Yeah, so just gotta blip a little bit earlier, a little bit harder.
Oh, I love the sound of that engine. Yeah, it's so good at high RPM. Yes. The way I always describe a proper rotary engine at high RPM is like a swarm of bees. Z06. I don't know, this thing could give that thing a run for its money in sound. Now, even with the short gears, we're very rarely getting out of second gear because this road is so tight. There we go. Cable throttle, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think they had an electronic back then.
Right.
This is not for something like this.
Yeah, true. For 1990, there's no way.
Yeah, because this car was developed in like the mid or early 80s.
Early 80s.
Yeah, this is like the tail end of it. How does it compare from the first version?
I gotta say the gearing really transforms it.
Yeah.
I'm finally able to just actually use the engine.
Yeah.
Not to mention, the first time I drove it, I didn't realize the red line was 8 and not 7,000.
Yeah. Yeah, so the S4s, they redline at 7. The turbos, they redline at 7.
Gotcha.
It's the NA S5s that redline at 8. So that was one of the reasons why I kind of wanted this one.
Yeah, it sounds...
And the looks.
Oh, it looks proper.
Yeah.
But the last 1,000 RPM is where the sound really just opens up.
Yeah, and when you change gears at redline, you hear that louder, like a louder pop. Too.
Yeah, I love that. Now there's one straight down here that we can do a proper pull on. There it is. There it is.
Or even if you're full throttle close to redline and you just lift off suddenly,
Yeah.
you'll hear that pop from that excess gas without pressing the clutch too soon, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, I love this. I love this so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to show love to the NA FCs out there because there aren't too many. Most of them are like clapped out,
Yeah.
just destroyed chassis, or everyone wants to turbo it, doesn't focus on the chassis too much.
Or their verts.
Yeah, or they're verts and they're like 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's slow enough as is.
Well, I gotta say, this feels like noticeably quicker than the first time I drove it.
Yeah, less weight, shorter gearing. Just feels good.
Yeah, it just feels good. The hydraulic steering, I mean, the manual conversion was the right move as well. It really just makes it feel... Because, like, it's not a heavy car, so the manual steering doesn't make it that annoying.
Yes. So a lot of people, they'll because they like the shorter ratio, they'll just depower their powered rack.
Yeah.
But it's, from what I hear, it's too difficult.
There you go. There's the pop.
I guess you need too much manpower to like turn it and steer it.
Makes sense. Yeah. Feels like it's about 110 degrees in the cockpit because with these older cars, turn the AC on and there goes all your horsepower. Still properly heavy, like at low speed.
It's cool. It's a workout.
It's true. Grip from these RT660s too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no ABS. You haven't even locked up or anything.
Oh yeah. With this grippy of a tire, ABS is pointless.
Yeah.
At least on a canyon road.
Yeah, yeah.
God damn, Erik.
This car's sick, right?
It's so sick.
I'm trying to spread the message, man. This car is, it's awesome. I got the FD, but like, this one's almost this one. It's just completely different.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm enjoying this more than I enjoyed your FD.
It's a more raw experience, right?
You completely transformed it with the mods.
There you go.
I shift up just to shift down.
Yeah,
it's not even
this
go faster. Yeah. I mean, it's still a momentum car, but the short gearing makes acceleration like noticeably better.
Definitely.
I just love that I can go full throttle basically everywhere. But it doesn't feel painfully slow. It's not like an NA or NB Miata.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Oh man, this is good.
I'm glad you like it, man.
Oh, this is so good.
I'm glad this car redeemed itself from that last review that you did.
Yeah, the last review was, to be totally honest, it wasn't just the mods, I just wasn't driving it properly. Oh, overheated.
Oh, your camera.
Yeah, that one tends to overheat.
I was looking at this, I'm like, my car shouldn't make those noises.
Yeah, it's all good. We still got these two cameras.
Okay, cool.
I think it's time to calm down.
Okay.
I think I've gotten enough high RPM pulls in this thing.
Feels good, right?
Feels so good. I love this car. This is not a car you want to be driving every day. And you know what? I think that's a good thing.
Yep.
Like, this car should only be driven for pleasure. In this day and age, you know, in the days of like EVs and hybrid, and have your car that does that, and then have your car that does this.
Yeah.
Keep them separate. There's a lot of dual duty cars out there, or cars that like market themselves as being good in all situations, but it's never going to feel this analog, this rewarding, this exciting. Early 90s and late 80s cars, that's always been...
That's where it's at, man.
That's where it's at.
And for me, like the outside body lines, like it's just such a vibe.
Yeah.
Every time I'm in this car, it's like I'm having more fun than, you know, the S2K and FD usually.
Yeah.
And I'm just cruising.
Yeah, even more fun than the S2000 in certain situations.
Yeah. I've been on like a love affair with the FC this past year because I've been modding it, and like to me it's still new. I don't know how it's gonna be like later on when I've had them off for a while.
Yeah,
but I drive this thing to the gym. Like, to me, it's like after work, like I go for a rip, work out a little bit, and then go for a rip back home. I have like a nice little windy section. Yeah. And that's like my release for the day. Like, because then my daily's a Fiesta. So it's like I'm just chilling in that.
Right, yeah.
So.
And it's a nice little workout after the workout too, with the manual steering.
Yeah, well this is new, so.
Okay.
But yeah, like definitely keep my wrist strength pretty strong.
What do you have in store for this car in terms of mods? Anything else, or are you done?
So suspension.
Suspension, yeah.
The Aragostas that are out there, or the Saki Bomb, if they come out with those Olins.
I mean, I will say that the suspension, it's not bad, but it could be better. So I would say that is one area that you could improve, definitely.
Yeah, so the problem is the support really isn't there.
Thanks so much, Eric. Always a pleasure. Driven like, what, 3 or 4 cars now?
Yeah.
S2000, that one might be next. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of the FC. Do you prefer the FC or the FD? And if any of you guys have modified FC turbos in California, please let me know. That's one car that's eluded me, but I'd love to compare that maybe to your FD one day.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, see you guys in the next one.